Nothing but love for you, baby.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to VCast. Today, I am the host, Kid Smooth, and we are back with the usual suspects. Please, everyone, introduce yourself.
The big kahuna here, what's up?
We got Anchorman here.
Got Rise and Grind here. Bam.
You got Darian is king here. You know what I'm
It's your
saying?
boy Darren
It's your
is
boy
king.
Darian is king.
Okay, everybody. So we got a couple of things to talk about. A lot of things happened over the week. We got some things coming up. First thing I want to touch up on. I didn't make any videos about it because the subject alone was annoying me, and it's back to this resolution crap. So, pretty sure you guys all heard about the rumor of Halo 2, the remastered version campaign not possibly being 1080p. What are we talking about?
Well, if I remember correctly, what they said about it was that the cinematics weren't going to be 1080p.
Is that cutscenes?
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
Well, great. I don't give a damn.
I mean, I don't know for sure if that was the case or not. I really didn't give a shit about it. I'm not. You guys know me. I'm not a big Halo fan. And two, I don't really care about pixel count, whatever. So I'm only going by secondhand news. I've only heard that it was done through just the cinematics. Probably may not be 1080p 60 frames.
Okay. Okay. Kahuna, I think you spoke about this briefly. What's your
Uh,
thoughts?
you know me, I don't care about resolution. And of course, there'll be the people who say, you're damage controlling. I'm not damage controlling. I play games, not resolution. Um, Halo 2, from what I've seen so far, already better than the 1080p native Spider, Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I don't care about the resolution. It doesn't matter to me.
Hmm. Anybody else?
I say this. Can y'all hear me, by the way?
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, I say this. Resolution is. I think one of the purpose of the remastering is to get the games at 1080p, 60 frames a second. So I think it should hit. Gameplay should hit 1080p, 60 frames per second. If it's the cinematic part, we all know that they always look good when they do cut to a scene. So I mean, I guess the cinematic part doesn't matter, but gameplay should be 1080p frames per second if they said they was gonna bring us all games 1080p 60 frames. That's my take.
Well, to me, 1080p 60 frames per second only matters if you have an HD. You know, the textures are HD and everything's HD about it. You cannot have running 1080p 60 frames per second on a game that doesn't look graphically HD with the texture. So that's the only way that 1080p matters to me, which it really doesn't matter to me because the games are what's focused really. That's my take.
Okay. Well, my take is I'm a big Halo fanboy, and if the shit was 720p 30 frames per second, I still buy it. So that's my take on that. The other thing is going. It got people going like, berserk both ways. We got the news about Xbox being the pre-orders being sold out in Japan, which no one's seen that coming. At least I didn't. A lot of people put out videos about it, and then you even have like the anti-Xbox people who put out videos about it saying that it's going to be a fluke. Like it's going to be like the first week sales will be high, but then they'll taper off even worse than what the PlayStation 4 did. What do you guys take on that?
You didn't see that coming. You Negro Damas. Anyway, my take on that is, man, one thing about Japan and the market in Japan, it really looks like they are kind of, I'm not going to say totally abandoning Sony, but what I'm going to say is there is more support from the Japan companies for the American company, which really, to me, is like shocking because you would never thought that you would have seen Japan support the Xbox One. Now we don't know how many is sold out, but one thing about it is it's sold out. Like that's the craziest thing to me. Even if it's like 100,000, units, they sold it out. That's my take.
I hear
That's
you.
exactly what I've been saying too. I've been saying that we still don't know. Like as I said before in one of my videos, like if I have 1,000 G cubes and you have 30 G spheres, me selling out is a much bigger deal than you selling out. But regardless, demand exceeded supply.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I like RAS stations better. Can you change that up to RAS stations?
That's what we'll
No,
call
I
it.
think it exceeded expectations point blank. That's just the gist of everything. And now that we're seeing Japanese developers back in the console, I think it's going to be a new era in Japan. I'm hoping for a new era in Japan.
Mhm.
I would say that nobody expected to hear anything about Microsoft selling out anything in Japan. But it's too early to say whether it's really going to do good in Japan because we know the Japanese just don't like American consoles. So, I mean, it may out out the gate like they sell a whole bunch, but then after that, boom, hardly anything. I mean, personally, I really don't think that they're going to do much in Japan. I mean, and I know people are talking about it. Why?
I
Uh,
can barely hear you, Big Kahuna.
excuse me.
I can barely hear you.
Okay. Um, what I'm saying is, the only way I think that they're really going to do anything is they would really probably have to buy Capcom, and then they probably wouldn't do that much. I think they would do better than Sony would if they had Capcom, but I still don't think that they're going to penetrate the Japanese market like people think they would.
Hmm.
Well, my take on it is that I think Microsoft did a great job making their attempts to capture Japan back in the 360 days. And I said this before with the games, like some of my favorite games were like Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. They did their thing with like Dynasty Warriors and a lot of the content that was there. It still didn't break through because a lot of they look at it as a an American box. So, but to see that what it did, neither of the Xboxes before it has done it. So, and they look like from the launch titles, some of them, most of them, of course, are we all have. I think there's two of them. I think that are like I believe that's new. That's like Japan only, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but they were reports that they were taking kindly to like games like Titanfall. There was reports of that they're really fond of the whole multitasking aspect. And when the Xbox One was revealed for the first time, I remember saying, "Man, that thing is too big. Japan's gonna ignore it again." You know what I mean? But I was like, I don't mind it, but I thought they didn't like big bulky things. So, but it's a step in the right direction. I hope they can keep the momentum up. I don't know really how long it will last, but apparently they're doing something right.
Yeah, that's true.
Congratulations, Andrew Wiggins. That's all I have to say.
Oh,
Drafted
man, I'm
by
missing
the
it.
Cavs. He got drafted by the Cavs.
I'm
Yeah.
missing it, man. Fuck.
All right, what's your next one, kid?
All right, so my next one is they just announced games with gold for July, and dude, I am not really impressed. I don't know about you guys, but I know it's a free game. I shouldn't be complaining. It's just I'm just not impressed. I was hoping for something like Crimson Dragon, maybe. I don't know. Give me Killer Instinct, like the full game. I don't know.
What
Yeah.
did we?
Oh, go
What
ahead.
did
Go
we
ahead. Go
get?
ahead, Ross.
No, no. I was just asking. What did we get for games to go for July?
Well, they're gonna have Max Curse of Brotherhood again, and they're gonna have what was it? Guacamelee Super whatever edition. And
See,
yeah,
Okay.
in that, in my opinion, man, I know personally, like, I don't expect Microsoft to give me a great game because it just feels like to me they're gonna they're not gonna give away well, I'm not gonna say a great game because Max Curse of the Brotherhood was a really good game. Very underrated game. But what I'm saying is, as far as a AAA title, I'm not expecting that from them.
Hmm.
Um, everybody knows my stance on the whole PlayStation Plus, the games with gold on Xbox One and stuff like that. To me, I mean, you're still not getting the game really for free. It's basically still a rental, but they hitting us with the okey doke. Going to give us the same game again, like you guys said. It's a good game, but I already bought the game way
So,
before
somebody
they
mute your
came
mic.
out. That would be Kid Smooth.
My mic was muted. It was Darian.
Darian's
Oh, okay.
already muted.
Uh, so do I had to say what I had to say all over again?
Yeah, please. I didn't hear it at least.
Okay, what I'm saying is the whole everybody knows my stance on the whole PlayStation Plus thing, and the whole games with gold on Xbox One is the same thing. I don't like that business model. That's just me. I would rather be able to, if I'm paying for Xbox Live, I would rather be able to, if I'm going back to silver or whatever, to be able to keep the games. But they're hitting us with the okey doke if they're going to give us, Max Curse of the Brotherhood twice. That's crazy. I don't like that. That's crazy. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right. I mean that. I don't know if they're going to do that again. This is something that's interesting, and there's a lot more questions about what the program's going to be, and this is something we really don't know. I really don't want to give away what the topic of my video is going to be. I'm about to upload it, but it doesn't. It could be something like, oh, we're gonna have one game that lasts for like a whole 2 months, and then we bring in a new game each month, and then the next month we phase out the 2 month game and bring in a new game, and then you have time for people to get the game completely. Or it could be something like Max Curse of Brotherhood is going to be around until about middle of the month, and then they introduce the new game halfway through.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good
It
point.
could be something like that. We just don't know.
All right,
Right.
Nick.
So, all right. So now my other thing was, and the only reason why I came up with this question, my question is, are we too hard on indies? I only asked this question because I was scrolling through the Xbox store and I seen that game that they showed at E3. I think it's called. Oh my God! Can somebody help me? It's called. It's about
Valiant
the
Hearts?
yeah, it's Valiant Hearts.
It's
Yeah,
Valiant.
Oh, Valiant Hearts, yeah.
Valiant Hearts. Okay, so I looked at the game. I was looking at gameplay. I was watching somebody Twitch it. Seen it on Upload Studio, and I was like, wow, the game looks interesting. Like I want it. It's $15. I'm willing to spend. So and then the thing is, sometimes I feel a certain way because sometimes we bash the Sony fans, and sometimes about it being like an indie box, and and the thing is, I never really had a problem with just indies. I had a problem when they were like 8 bits and games like Contrast and all this other stuff. And my main issue was is that I didn't want it to be replaced with our AAAs. I can do like 2 or 3, but I can't have more indies than I have, AAA. But the thing is, I feel like sometimes at times I was too hard on indies, and I just wanted to know if anybody felt the same. I mean, because there's an indie game on the Xbox that I'm really interested in.
Well, I'm not sure the Valiant Hearts is actually an indie game. I think it's actually just an arcade title, 'cause I think it's published by Ubisoft. Yeah, it's made by Ubisoft and it's published by Ubisoft.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
Then I don't feel as bad.
we're just saying that it's an indie game because it's short and cheap.
Okay.
An indie game is a developer who doesn't have like an official publisher, is an untested studio. That's what I always define an indie developer is.
Oh yeah,
Somebody
you're
who's
right.
doing this on their own.
You're right. You're right. It didn't hit me. I forgot. I didn't even notice that it was a Ubisoft game. They made another game that's pretty good that seemed indie like, but it's like a RPG with the girl. I
Child
forgot
of
the
Light.
name. Say that again.
Child of Light.
Yeah, Child of Light. Yeah, that was an Ubisoft
Yeah,
game
they're
too.
was it Ubisoft Montpellier is the one who did the Valiant Hearts, and they're responsible for Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends, and Child of Light.
Okay. Okay.
So my take on everything is that like when you look at that game though, would you buy a $400 console for it?
No.
No. The
All
thing
right,
is,
Nothing for a
that's
$15 title.
what's up.
Nothing for a $15 title. I wouldn't throw down money for that.
And that's my point. Like I'm hard. I don't think we too hard on indies. I love indies. I like them. I will play them, but I don't see myself investing into a system if it's primarily going to play indie games. You know.
Listen,
But I think, and this is for us as Xbox fans too. But we all gonna have to. I think what happened with Sony is going to transfer over to Xbox because I think they're gonna eventually buy more indie games, and you're gonna see more indies than actual AAA's on Xbox as well.
See, I'm fine with having a shit ton of indie games or arcade titles as long as there's AAA's to back them up.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I
the
would.
thing is, though, there's with PlayStation right now is that there really aren't a lot of AAA titles coming out for PlayStation exclusively, and we haven't really heard promise of much more other than what was it, Bloodborne and Uncharted, which we already knew about Uncharted. We already kind of knew about Bloodborne anyway. But like PlayStation, they're supplementing the lack of AAA exclusives from them with exclusive indie games. Like I'm fine with having a ton of indie games and a ton of arcade titles, as long as you got the AAA exclusives to back them up.
okay, and that's agreed. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so that sometimes I felt too hard on indies, and now question, because I do like Max. Is that an indie game or is it
that's an indie
like a
game. It's an
I'm
indie
not sure. Let me check real quick.
I believe that's an indie game, but most of the games, like, okay,
I don't
we're,
think
we're
Max is
not
an
we're not
independent developer game, but
we're not bashing. I'm not bashing it. Like, to me, I do not like certain type of indies. Like you said, the 8-bit indies and shit like that. Those are not what you buy a console for. People want to make it seem like, oh my gosh, we got all these games and all of this and shit like that. But
yeah,
to
you
me,
can't
you
boast.
can't,
And,
you really can't boast about a $15 game that doesn't look anything close. I mean, yeah, you can have fun with games like that, but my thing is, I'd rather have a Ouya. Ouya can do the same shit, or you could just buy the PlayStation TV and do the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
true.
don't have to buy a console, spend all that money if it's not producing really AAA titles. That's how I
so,
feel.
real quick, Max Curse of Brotherhood is done by a studio called Press Play. That's actually based in Denmark. They've been around for quite a while, actually. But this is their first real platform game that they've made. Like they made Max of the Magic Marker for like they made that once before. That was like their first game, but that was like on PSN and Nintendo DS.
And that's an indie, right? Press Play is an indie.
No, they just got up by Microsoft completely.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so
Oh, by the
wow.
way, they're also working on Project Totem, which is coming in the future sometime.
Okay, but games like so the people that make Limbo, that was definitely indie. Um, because that game, and they're making that game called Inside, I believe, which looks good. But yeah, like, and
Yes, Limbo
one
is
of you
technically an indie game.
and one of you guys mentioned earlier that, like, you wouldn't buy a console, to play indies, and of course I definitely agree. And that's the crazy thing is, like, with the Xbox 360, you had all these games, and then you had this little thing called the arcade that had all these kind of cheap games, and some of them were free that you just had. and I feel like what's on available on the PlayStation 4 is pretty much the same thing, except they're more looked at as like exclusive blockbusters by some people. But um, that's just how I feel about it. So I don't know. I just thought I was being a little too hard, but now I don't feel as bad because I know that game is not an indie now. So now for those watching, I'm sorry, Big Kahuna, Big Kahuna.
All right. I don't really think that we're, being too hard when we're talking about indies. I think people perceive that we're talking too hard about indies, but they really don't listen to what we say when we're talking about indies.
Yeah.
None of us are really saying that we hate indies. I mean, some people are saying that they hate indies, but most of us are not saying that we hate indies. What we're saying is exactly what you guys are saying. I'm not going to go and spend $400 or $500 just to play some little. I mean, now like this, the PlayStation has this amazing RAM that GDDR5 RAM. What is the use of having a system with this powerful RAM if you're just going to run little indie titles on it? It's just, I'm not trying to bash Sony or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with indie at all, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money on something that plays nothing but indies. And, they always include that in, well, it has more games than, the X1. Okay, but the majority of your games are little indie titles that you can run on a tablet. And there's nothing wrong with those games. But I'm not spending a whole bunch of money just to play those type of games. I can get that type of, enjoyment on my tablet. So, I mean, they'll take that as being, being a fanboy or whatever. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with indies. They are good indie titles, but I'm not spending a whole bunch of money on something that's got majority indies and hardly any, substance to their system. And that's just me.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree, man. That's tablets, the Ouya, like Darian said, the Ouya can run a lot of these games on there. So what's the purpose of picking up a $400 console when you got something that a $200 device that can do probably even better?
Exactly. And then brag about how it does 1080p on your indies. Are you serious?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So oh yeah, a good pickup on that whole GDR5 thing because that's always been my argument in some of these cases because I'm still waiting to see the games that magnify that use. But with that being said, on to the next topic. Everybody, Live Squad is almost a week old, and we're getting plenty of members a part of the group. We're getting these events coming out, and people are participating. So just wanted to go over a couple of events that are coming up that we have scheduled. We have Alex Greer's hosting a Titanfall matchup tomorrow, taking place with one of the new modes, I believe. I also have a Titanfall for the marked ones, the Mark for Death game mode, which is we're doing Saturday at 9. I believe Saturday at 9:30, and there's also Killer Instinct, which is Detroit Reaper is hosting tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I'm hosting Forza 5 event. It's called Winner Race. Winner gets $10 Xbox gift card. The winner of that event. So if those who want to participate in that, please feel free to join and add us on Xbox Kids Move or join the group or tell us you want to participate. We'll invite you. Tuesday night, I'm hosting Tuesday Night Bowling. Winner of that gets a gift card to Amazon. And then me and Rise and Grind is also hosting another Dead Rising 3 event for the Remix DLC. That's taking place Thursday, July 3rd at 7:30. And if anybody beats us and 3 out of the 5 missions that's available in the district, they will win 3 months of Xbox Live Gold. Anybody have any ideas or any thing that they want to put out or any comments regarding the upcoming events?
I have a comment. Do you need my address so I can get those cards?
No, no, your address isn't needed because most of the stuff we'll be giving away will be digital, so we'll send over a code.
Okay, so you might as well go ahead and send it now. I'll be waiting.
Before we are we leaving right now? Are we done?
Closing statements. Closing statements.
Uh, yeah, this is pretty much Anchorman and everybody else. Big congratulations to GiveMeister XB1 on finally hitting 1,000.
Woo!
Oh yeah,
Shout
congrats,
out to my
congrats,
homie.
Shout
Gibbo.
out, Gibbo.
Deserve
Gibbo.
many,
Two
many
thumbs,
more. Also, brother.
2 thumbs and 2 toes up for you, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Gibbo, man. He's a really good YouTuber, great content. Always looking forward to see what he puts out next. Um, and looking forward to many more. I'm happy to be one of the 1,000 subscribers that's
Exactly.
following him. So
And not only that, he's like the fucking Adam Schefter of the fucking gaming industry. He posts his shit so fast, so quick. And he's so accurate with his news, it's ridiculous. Like he
Yeah.
gets it so fast, and every time I go on YouTube, I'm like, "What? That happened?" And it's not even in any other like websites and stuff like that yet. And I'm like, "Wow, this is pretty neat ass channel."
Hey, it's not all fun and games, because I was a news channel before I met Gitmeister.
Right.
so we're gonna be signing out. Just want to thank all of those who watch, all the subs who are sub to our channels. Also want to thank everybody who joined Live Squad and is help making it be the group that we want it to be, and we hope that you guys continue to support us and join us in these events that we'll be hosting. Also want to give you guys a quick update. We will be having Live Squad T-shirts.
Oh, snap.
Contact me for more on that. I will be having those out soon. So, anybody else have anything to say before we say night night?
I have something to say actually. Uh, we all know that there's a lot of biased websites out there. So if anybody wants to go to a website that's non-biased, in my opinion, go check out playlegit.net. And also,
Oh.
as I always say, fanboys don't like their favorite system; they just hate you.
I like to say, yo, look out for this next video I'm about to drop. Hopefully, it don't get too much hate. And thanks for watching, guys. You know who it is. It's your boy Raz.
Anybody else?
I'm
Kids move.
Kids Smooth, baby. We out. Live Squad.
Anyway, yeah, it's your boy Darian is king. Hashtag it's not me, it's we. And we are out of here, man. We are the live squad, and we are the livest squad. And nobody can take our place, man. That's why we are probably the best YouTubers to listen to. Just come check us out, man. We the live squad, man. Squad up.
squad up.
Squad up.